Central Illinois is the CI in ciLiving.
Well, there's a good chance you know someone living with diabetes, and while it's a tough road for a diabetic to keep their health on track, there is help.
There's a wide range of issues that can occur, we know this, and so here to keep diabetic patients moving, today's sponsor, Eickmeier Foot and Ankle Clinic. We've got Dr. Kimberly Eickmeier and Courtney Elrod, who's the medical podiatry assistant, joining us today. Welcome. This happens to be Diabetes Awareness Month, yes?
Yes.
So how does that relate to foot stuff?
Podiatry. Yes.
Podiatry, foot stuff.
Fancy words are her job, not mine.
Well, we know that over 26 million people in the United States have diabetes, and what we're concerned more about, perhaps, is that 7 million may have it and don't know. So it's recommended that you see a podiatrist every twice a year if you have diabetes. If you have any signs of diabetes affecting your feet, it's a good idea to come in as well. I'll have Courtney go over those. The other thing is, in the United States, a diabetic undergoes an amputation every 20 seconds. 1 out of 4 patients, people with diabetes, will have an amputation.
Wow, that is a very alarming number. So let's kind of be proactive here. What are some warning signs that we need to be looking for, maybe with our feet in diabetes?
Yeah, so typically if you do have diabetes, there's things that you specifically want to look for as far as bruising, swelling, if there's cracks in the heels of your feet, if there are...
Ooh, looks like numbness.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Numbness is a big thing with diabetics. It's called diabetic neuropathy, which is something Dr. Eickmeier can talk about, and that's a very serious condition to look out for.
And you've brought some tools here that may actually help detect numbness, right? You want to talk to us about what our toys we've brought today?
And that's what neuropathy is, simply put, yes?
Right. It means damage to nerves causing sometimes pain and numbness at the same time. I have a patient in the hospital right now. I'll get into that in a little bit, but she has pain when you touch her, but yet she has an open sore down to the tendons of the foot. Oh. And so it's because of high blood sugar levels. We take in starches, carbs that we can't control, our body can't process correctly. Insulin levels our pancreas doesn't produce insulin like it should. So we can end up with nerve damage. And I have people that come with thumbtacks in their shoes, in their foot. Things in their shoes they didn't even know, they didn't even feel it.
They couldn't feel it. So you have ways now with some of these tools to test to see if that's the case, or even perhaps predict what might be a problem in the future.
Right. One of the things that we use is what's called a monofilament wire. It's not a needle, it's just a piece of nylon. And one of the things that we do to check your foot to see if you have any numbness is to press it up against the foot in several locations that we know are breakdown areas. When it bends slightly, you should be able to feel that. We also use a specific tuning fork of 128, and you should be able to feel the vibrations as long as I feel them.
So if you see when she hits it on her hand, it'll vibrate.
Right.
Yeah, and then I hold it up to the foot and I ask you, when does it stop? When do you stop feeling it? The other thing is there are medical infrared thermometers out there. This is one that I bought at an automotive store. I love going to the automotive stores. But anyway, when you first come into the office, we'll have you take off your shoes and socks immediately. And if you are diabetic or think you may have diabetes or it runs in the family, all I do is simply hold it up against points of your foot and record. I know what the normal temperature should be. I can record it to the top of your foot or compare it to the top of the foot to your hand. If it has increased temperature, that means there's increased pressure and friction. You're prone for breakdown, an open sore, an infection, an amputation.
Wow. If you want to take off your shoes and socks, we can test you.
I don't think anybody wants me to do that.
I'm good right now. I totally believe you that that's how that works. So to avoid complications, you encourage people to inspect your feet daily.
Right.
And wear thick socks. What are thick socks going to do?
Well, thick socks help if you do step on something, to prevent it from puncturing. You know, maybe even a little piece of something, rock that came in from someone drug it in on their shoe. It helps to give you some cushion. Inspect your shoes daily. Take them, turn them upside down, put your foot in them, shake them, make sure there's nothing in there. Put lotion on your feet every day. Do not put it in between your toes. We can get a fungal infection. We can get blisters.
I know this.
I didn't either.
And Courtney, you guys have a new location, yes, before we wrap up?
We
They're going to
do.
see your face when they walk through the door,
Yes.
so tell us where that is.
Yes. So we've relocated to 411 Devonshire Drive in Champaign. We're located inside of the Devonshire Commons. If you're familiar where the Harvest Market is, we are very, very close. So we would love to see you at our new location.
Well, yeah. Well, we appreciate you all coming in here as we educate people on National Diabetes Awareness Month. And if you have any concerns or maybe you want to get your feet checked out, there's a look at Dr. Eickmeier's website, which we'll connect you with after today's show at ciLiving.tv.